we're continuing those below average temperatures that we saw this afternoon, only getting into that high of 27, continuing those below freezing temperatures as well, with those lows last night reaching 12. And we're going to see those cold nights again tonight as we're already cooling down, reaching 20 degrees right now. That dew point is rising as it's getting a little bit more humid out there. Humidity rising up to 46%. And those winds, not a huge issue, as we were seeing them a bit of an issue yesterday, though they have lessened as we got our day started today. Now they're just out of the east at 6 miles per hour. And those current temperatures across the Concho Valley, all of us starting to cool down into those overnight temperatures. Some of us dropping into those teens, and some of us holding on to those 20s. We see 18 out in El Dorado and Sonora and Big Lake at 19, though the rest of us holding on to some 20s for the next couple of hours as we continue to see those cold temperatures. As we're seeing those cold temperatures, we're not as cold as we were yesterday, though, as we saw those temperatures yesterday already reaching those teens. So we've seen that slight increase as we've gone into the afternoon today, and continuing for our overnight hours, as we're not going to cool down as much, as we see about a 5-degree increase here in San Angelo and as much of an 8-degree increase for some of us across the Concho Valley from what we were seeing last night. And those temperatures across the state of Texas, as well as that cold front has made its arrival into the whole state of Texas. We were seeing some parts of the southern parts of Texas weren't seeing those cold temperatures last night, but we're all seeing those cold temperatures now, as we're still seeing 33 down in Laredo and much of us still in those 20s, though as we go and look up north, Amarillo sitting at 18 degrees right now, as we all start to cool down even more, and we'll cool down to about 13 degrees tonight for that low, and continuing those below freezing temperatures for that hard freeze again tonight. Winds, though, that wind chill, not a huge issue, as we're still seeing temperatures similar to what they actually feel like out there, and those winds out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. And we're going to see that slight increase going into tomorrow, as well as we continue to warm up and finally seeing above freezing as we reach that high of 39, finally out of that freezing range for just a bit, but dropping back down again as we go into those overnight hours tomorrow. Though that hard freeze still in place for us as we go into tonight and tomorrow. A little bit of a break, just seeing that light freeze for us Christmas night, but back to that hard freeze for Monday. And then we start to increase those temperatures going into next week as we see this cold front really start to push off towards those northeastern parts of the country, and really just seeing those cool temperatures for the next 2 days as we start to kind of increase those temperatures going into Sunday. And that's when we'll start to build that warm temperatures back up across the Concho Valley and finally start to see some warmer temperatures. And make sure you join us here tomorrow, as I'll be here to give you live updates on where Santa is and where he's at, and updates, and that'll start around 6:46 p.m. and I'll be here about every hour to do a cut-in. That'll be all the way until 11, and along with updates on Santa's traveling weather, so the weather that he's going to be pursuing as he's on the trek from the North Pole and all the way until he gets here to the Concho Valley. And a look at that 7-day before we go, and that Christmas Eve forecast temperature starting to increase, still feeling like winter and definitely in the holiday spirit as we see that high of 39, and continuing to see those cooler temperatures for us Sunday as we see those Christmas forecast in those 50s, but we start to increase going into next week as we see those 50s Monday, 60s Tuesday, and back to the 70s by Wednesday.